hell is even that?
Some folks have very unrealistic expectations, to say the least. This man, for example, is advocating for us all to use zeno pronouns, which are essentially pronouns you can't even spell out or pronounce using the human language.
It doesn't make sense.
As always, stick around to the end for the recap, this week's woke news, and much, much more.
Zeno pronouns, perhaps one of the most beautiful concepts, refers to any pronoun a person has that is unspeakable.
What are your pronouns?
A zeno pronoun would be a word, I can't even say it, right? Because that's the point. And sort of effervescent and unknowable, kind of like a person's gender.
A mystery wrapped in a riddle.
The zeno pronoun would contain a set of letters that is a pronunciation that a human being can't pronounce. Understanding where non-binary people come from can sometimes take us into very lofty, beautiful, spiritual, poetic places.
I don't know about all that.
Now, clips like this just make you want to hit the reset button for humanity. It's hard to believe folks out there actually expect others to follow this sort of silly gender ideology with a straight face. And speaking of unrealistic expectations, see if you can follow the logic in our next clip.
I believe that every black woman on this planet should be entitled to financial compensation just for existence on this earth and this society. And though I could go down my laundry list of reasons and likely convince you to and show you why I believe that, I'm not going to. You'll understand when you do. Toodles! The world is becoming uninhabitable at an alarming rate for everyone, and no one seems to care.
Just don't care.
Now, I'd love to actually hear the thought process behind this, though if I were her, I wouldn't hold my breath for any financial compensation. And next up is a man who also expects financial compensation for very different reasons. Take a listen.
I look like a hot mess today. I just wanted to vent a little bit. I feel like dates can be so cheap. The last couple of dates that I've gone on, I've expected the guy to pay because I feel like the man should pay for the first date, and they just don't want to. And so I just had a date earlier this afternoon, and I sat there when the bill came, and finally I just said, the guy should pay first, and kind of pushed it towards him, and he said, well, in that case, you should pay. And I just thought, that is so rude. And I just don't understand what the issue is. I feel like everyone's trying to get something for free these days. I don't understand. I just want to go on a date and have the man be a gentleman and treat me right, treat me like a woman.
Now that was former Bachelorette star Josh Saiter, who's now transitioning to become a woman. Although my honest advice to Josh would be to shave that 5 o'clock shadow before requesting the princess treatment from another man. And as you'll see in our next clip, Josh has a lot of other interesting notions about being a woman.
So not sure if you knew, but normally I wear contacts, but I ran out. So today I'm in glasses. I just got back from the gym, and I just want to say one thing I am truly grateful for is Planet Fitness. They have been awesome during my transition. Ever since I talked to management and let them know I was transitioning, they let me use the locker room that I identify with. So they have been fantastic. Little things like that just go a long ways in validating me and affirming me and letting me know that that's a safe space for me to exist in.
Now, I've said it plenty of times, but validating someone's feelings is nowhere near as important as ensuring people's safety and privacy. If you want another example of useless validation, take a listen to how these Microsoft employees introduce themselves on their company podcast.
Hello, everyone. I'm Natalie Gadilla. I'm a Caucasian woman with long blonde hair, and I go by she, her. I'm a product marketing lead here at Microsoft and co-host of the podcast Security Unlocked with this guy.
Yes, that would be me. Hello, everyone. I'm Nick Fillingham. I'm a Caucasian man with glasses and a beard. I go by he, him, and I'm a security evangelist here at Microsoft.
Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Will Witt. I'm 6'4". I'm a white, Caucasian, American male. And my pronouns are he, they. I'm really happy to be here on the Microsoft Live podcast.
Hi.
Micro and Soft Live.
Excuse me. You just interrupted a woman. Hi, I'm Amala. I'm 5'7". I have brown braids, and I work as a senior engineer here at Microsoft. I go by she, her. It's great to be here.
Oh, I also have blonde hair. I forgot to mention that.
Now, it pains me to say this definitely isn't satire, And it'll be a truly sad day when the time comes that everyone starts introducing themselves like this. But wokeness is spreading fast across the globe. You'll even find folks in Germany introducing themselves with pronouns and multiple identities.
Ich bin Feder. Ich bin eigentlich 17 Jahre alt, aber ich bin auch nebenbei ein Fuchs. Und in dem bin ich momentan 4 Monate alt.
Ich bin Zoll, ich bin 19 Jahre alt und meine Pronomen sind they, she.
So, ich bin Milo. Ich gehe mit allen Pronomen und ich bin 13 Jahre alt.
Ja, ich bin da Felix, das Alpha von einem Rudel und bin 1,5 Jahre Papi.
Ich habe 5 Namen. Ich benutze Gabriel, Luca, Bug, Mats und V.
Ich bin Sydney.
Now, it's always worrying when someone tells you they identify as a 13-year-old, and I for one hope we don't see more countries following in this woke madness. But moving on to our next clip, let's take a look at why this military officer believes trans inclusion is one of the military's greatest assets.
Of inclusion across all groups in the military. Come back tomorrow morning for the first 10 minutes and then run away. I'm going to focus a little bit more today on my story and that of transgender service members and how and why that fits into the picture of why inclusion matters. Why does it matter to us as a military? Why is it not a negative that some people may believe it to be? And how do we as leaders use it to enhance mission accomplishment?
Now, if these are the so-called leaders of America's military today, then I feel a great deal of sadness for the younger generation of soldiers that have to put up with all this pointless woke ideology. And on that note, listen to this man explain why, despite his appearance, he could very well be a woman.
You guys all assume that I'm a man. I could be a woman. I just think this is such a ridiculous story, and it's a gotcha question, because the reality is, for the past God knows how many centuries, we've defined a woman based on
Since
self.
Adam and Eve, actually.
Yeah.
Since Adam and Eve, thousands of years.
Yeah, but that's always been based on self-identification or perception. So does someone present as a woman? You know, does someone present as a man? You guys all assume that I'm a man. But that's based on how I'm presenting to you. You haven't asked me to, drop my trousers and prove it. You haven't asked me to provide you any papers.
Not likely to.
No, well, good, thank you. I appreciate that. And I think it's just, there's this ridiculous sort of gotcha question of define what a woman is.
It's a basic question for the Equalities Minister. What's a woman?
Oh, a woman is...
That doesn't seem to say it depends on the context.
Oh, but it does depend on the context, doesn't it?
But you are born male.
I am, so far as I'm saying.
So even if you presented to me as more feminine, if you had a dress on this morning and you've been sat in makeup, you would still be a man.
But you wouldn't know, is what I'm saying. I could be a woman right now. I could have women's parts and I could just be wearing a chest binder.
I want to live in a world that believes in truth.
Yeah.
That's the most important issue that underpins everything.
Now, putting stripes on a pig doesn't make it a zebra. And anyone would know within 2 seconds of looking at this man that he's not in fact a woman. But as is the case with a lot of clips we've seen today, a lot of people sincerely expect others to cater to their requests and conform to their various gender ideologies. We've seen folks who want to bring zeno pronouns into our language, folks who think they should be treated as the opposite sex without any visible similarities, folks who demand a whole monologue about your identity when you introduce yourself to others, and much, much more. And speaking of catering and pandering, I'm not sure how many of you saw the opening to the Paris Olympics, but it pretty much sums up how far woke propaganda has spread. If you haven't seen it, the performance is basically a sick depiction of the Last Supper, except with drag queens, outrageous depictions and all sorts of other so-called inclusive castings. And the whole thing just feels like a series of shows about transgenderism, diversity and multiculturalism. And it's telling to me that out of all the other artistic directions they could have gone, the hosts decided to go as woke as they possibly could. I just can't for the life of me understand how people haven't realised that no one in fact wants to see stuff like this on TV. But as always, let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode.